Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Q Gives a Fuck. Crippling Depression says, "Feature this, Papa. Why is your beard so great? Love you, Papa." That is the least terrible comment you've ever left on my channel. I just want you to know that I'm very disappointed in you right now.
I was only 20 years old. I loved Quinton so much. I watched all his reviews and read all the gay fanfics. My dad walks in. Quinton looks him straight in the eyes and says, "I hope to see some great comments from a lot of you, and some terrible comments from this guy." Quinton leaves through my window. Quinton is love. Quinton is life.
That was better. As in much worse. You truly are cancer. Pyrocynical says, "Mama Max, father." It's so crazy to get to a point where big YouTubers, unprovoked, are just commenting on my videos. I just wish they would comment things that made fucking sense. XX, is that a Y? It's a Y. It's some guy with a dumb username with Pepe in it. Says, "Hey Quinton, I discovered your channel by your Leafy video, and there I realized you had a really big potential, and that's because I subscribed. But I've got one suggestion." Okay, yeah, I'll take suggestions. "I think you should make reviews on videos/movies that more people know about." Now that's actually a really good idea, I think. That might actually really help out my channel and might make people watch more even. I'm going to keep that one in the back of my mind, and I'll think about it, in the coming months when I'm struggling to make a video. Harry Dowling says, "Can I make a suggestion?" Well, of course. Like I said, I take any fan suggestions that I can get. "Kill yourself, you pathetic excuse of a human being. Racist cunt." Now that's actually a really good idea, I think. That might actually really help out my channel and might make people watch more even. I'm going to keep that one in the back of my mind, and I'll think about it, in the coming months when I'm struggling to make a video. "Do you think the episode Fly is the absolute worst episode of Breaking Bad? The one where Walter and Jesse spend an hour trying to kill a fly?" My friend, I think you just convinced me to watch Breaking Bad. Does it ever feel disheartening to put so much effort into a video only for it to get a fraction of the response others of the same type receive? Or are you satisfied with the audience you already have? I'm very happy with the audience I have, and I'm so grateful for all you guys, but I won't lie that there are some nights where I feel a little down that, that video didn't do so well, or that video basically got like no good comments. But, all around, I try to stay positive, and I try to just, build towards making more videos and not being all down in the dumps about the fact that I'm not a millionaire yet. But I will admit that one thing that's really bothering me is YouTube's new analytics system and all the bugs they have that they haven't worked out yet. It's really bothersome for me right now because, well, it's just so bad for my channel right now. Like, you see all these big YouTubers talking about, like, the theoretical channel that, like, isn't big enough to survive on this new system and is probably dying as a result of it. That's me. I've lost 500 subscribers. And say what you want about how I did in November. Okay, 500 subscribers is a big chunk of my audience. I didn't do so badly that I should have lost half of the views I usually get and 500 of my subscribers that just disappeared, and people saying, "Oh, we got unsubscribed." Yeah, I'm sure you did, because it just doesn't feel right that 500 people every day consistently 70 people unsubscribe from me. That doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? So make sure that you bell me, boys. Bell me hard. Press that little bell next to subscribe so you'll see my videos. Alright. Colonel Stalin says, "Can I call you Daddy? Please don't." Bob Jones says, "Do you consider yourself religious?" I'm not religious. I'm the opposite of religious, I'd say. But I try. Well, I'm sure I've made jokes about it on the channel before, jokes that I've just forgotten about. But I try not to talk about it, at least nowadays. When more than 5 people watch my videos, I try not to talk about it, not because I don't want to offend people, but because I feel like if I make one video that is like religiously based and does well, it'll just be like a spiraling circle. Where in a year it's all the videos I'll make, and I don't want to make myself go through that. Cecil Tainment says some shit, and then he says, "How long has crippling depression been at you?" For about 2 months now, maybe 3. This was his first comment. He's a keeper. Yeah, I'm still not ready for this one. Franklin Turtleson says, "Is Little Caesars the worst place to work? I wouldn't know because I don't work there. Is One Punch Man able to revive anime? I mean, maybe. It's a really fun show that's not filled with crippling cliches. It's probably the best anime I've seen in the last decade." Do you feel partially responsible for Grade's descent into unpopularity? Not at all. What's your favorite type of sandwich? A Reuben. Do you watch Ralph the Movie Maker? Fucking cancer. That guy is the fucking worst internet reviewer to ever be born on this earth. He needs to be flogged in public, crucified twice. We need to do it carefully so that he'll live through it a second time. One time we do it upside down with like his legs broken and splintered off to the sides, because that dude's like an egotistical cunt, and I want to see him fucking burn. Ralph the Movie Maker's great. Go subscribe to him. He's close to 100K, and it's just one of those things where you know he's going to be one of the greats, so you want to be there when he gets to 100K, because that's the milestone that every YouTuber looks up to. Just go check him out. He's fantastic. Someone asked for my thoughts on Pokemon, either the games or the anime. I grew up watching the anime occasionally on Saturdays. It was never something I was too into, and I was always just amazingly shocked that it was continuing to go on, especially because it seemed like it was devolving into something I no longer cared about. All the characters I used to like are just gone, and they're replaced by these new anime kind of people. Wasn't my cup of tea. I've never played any of the games, not a single one. Never even played Pokemon Go, to be honest. I don't have a phone. Well, I do. I have the Thomas phone, but apparently it's not compatible, which is bullshit.
Let's call Diesel. Hello, Thomas. Let's call Spencer. Let's call...
But yeah, Pokemon's probably fine, but I know nothing about it. What is your favorite dinosaur? Either the Tyrannosaurus Rex or the Dildosaurus. Now, this right here is something that's honestly really special to me, and it really blew my mind, okay? What you're about to see is the very first piece of Quinton Review's fan art. That's amazing. Look, I wore the shirt for this, so... I was having such a bad day, too, right? I was having such a bad day. And this just made me feel better, because, like, I'd just gotten fired. And and someone sent this to me, and I was like, oh, someone has taken, like... And it took me a while to just recognize that it was actually supposed to be me. I thought for sure that someone was just like, oh, this fan art of President Obama kind of looks like you. And it wasn't until, like, every little detail about him, from, like, the plaid shirt to the hairy arms, to the black-rimmed glasses, to the floopy hair, to the weight. I mean, I guess it's exaggerated. I don't think I'm that fat. But no, I legit, like, stared at this for, like, 3 hours just being so excited by it. You know, with every passing moment, just something new ticked to me about it. I'm grateful they left out the hairy hands. I'm not proud of that. This is especially special when you compare it to my second piece of fan art that I received. Look at this. I'm pretty sure that my first piece of fan art is reacting to my second piece of fan art. But there is one thing that came out of this that was kind of negative. Andrew Peak says, "Is that Boogie 2988? Oh my god. Alright, boys and girls, that's going to be it. So once again, I want you to leave your questions in the comment box below, or Twitter, or Facebook, or even Reddit. That still exists, believe it or not. But more specifically this time, I've decided to do my first themed Q Gives a Fuck. I have a couple ideas for these, but first of all, I wanted you guys to give me some holiday themed questions. Christmas. Okay. New Year's. Life Day. Probably like my birthday, because that just happened. And, then I'll answer those. So So now it's kind of like Jackass, except